Hello everybody, this is Dragyn. Welcome to the Dragyn's Den. Pull up a seat and select a drink of your choice. My drink of choice today is this new lovely maple flavored coffee I picked up at my work. Really love it. Very sweet, very nice. I love it. But that's not what we're here about today. We're going to record a podcast episode, and I must apologize. Again, it's not the interview that everyone's been expecting or looking forward to. Unfortunately, my guest had an emergency come up, so he had to get that taken care of. And hopefully in a few days we'll get that episode finally recorded. I'm not going to make any promises this time because I feel really bad about that. So we'll see how that goes. For this episode though today, we're going to talk about something that's coming up very, very soon. And that is my birthday. Yes, this Dragyn here, the host of this podcast, will be turning 27 on the 4th of September. And wow, 27. We're going to get into that road here a little bit. But yeah, we're going to talk about my birthday, what I'm hoping to have happen, and previous birthdays over the years and how I felt about them, and you know, just have a little ramble because it's a podcast and that's what I do the best, is ramble. So my birthday, oddly enough, I don't ever really remember being excited for my birthday. Sure, probably as a kid, you know, getting the big cake, some gifts and little presents that make you happy, and there's so much that you can do and play with and ask for. It was an exciting moment in one's life getting older. But somewhere along the line, I think I want to say high school, most likely, I just stopped caring. Or not that I didn't stop caring. I guess I more or less wanted to ensure that the people I had a part of my birthday, like the actual day or celebration, would also have fun. And that's not the point of a birthday. The birthday is about you, and it should be about you and what you want. But then I stopped doing that. And here we are, coming up to my 27th birthday, where I actually want to do things for myself and for others a little bit. I'll get to that momentarily, but for once this year, and I think last year too, I was able to really just choose what I'd like to do, execute it, and it wasn't perfect. Most of my birthdays haven't been perfect over the years, to be honest, but I got to do the few things I wanted to do, and that made me happy. But let's start in high school for birthdays. So obviously I started grade 10 in 2009, so I was 15. I turned 16 the year after, and that was the first time I had a really big group of friends in my entire life, really. Even through all the moving and ups and downs and some tragic things that happened throughout my life a little bit, I had a group of friends that made me feel really good. They're quirky, dorky, nerdy, strange like I was, and I remember sort of celebrating that birthday, kind of enjoying it. It's that 15th birthday. Probably most likely spent it with family, not necessarily with friends, because again, my birthday is September 4th. It's the start of the school year, so I would have been just a day or two into school and into high school. Not really enough time to establish lifelong friendships per se. So that's the one downside about my birthday, is it being at the beginning of the school year, beginning of a very, very busy period for my family, of course, because I have a little sister and now a little brother that's going into school and is still part of school. So it was always a busy, hectic time to get us used to a routine, make sure we had all of our school supplies, that we'd be prepared to go, and the focus was always usually on that. And then we'd celebrate my birthday usually at the end of the week or on that Labor Day weekend, because again, that's also an impact on my birthday, is Labor Day weekend here in North America. So that's are two things that usually affect the birthday, is the preparations for school and getting ready for it, and then Labor Day weekend, holiday hours to deal with. And also my parents worked at like various jobs when I was little. But then the main job that I remember the most is working at a pizza place. And during the holidays, it would be quieter, but they'd still have to work. So a lot of that is usually where my birthdays come from, where we celebrate at their workplace and make a very special pizza for me or something like that, which, well, you know, felt good. Having your own, like, custom pizza being made, and I love the custom pizza that I've come up to enjoy a lot. So whenever I do take out for pizza, if I don't want like a standard recipe like a barbecue chicken pizza or something like that, I will make this pizza to this day. And so Dragyn Special is a pizza with pesto sauce, because I actually really love pesto. Then there's bacon bits, red onion, and there's goat cheese and mozzarella. I love it so much. And if I feel like splurging, I'll throw in a little roasted garlic on there too. My favorite pizza that's really got created on one of my birthdays, actually, at the pizza place that my parents ran. And to this day, I still love it. It's so good. It's a strange one. It's not that exciting of a pizza, but I really do like it. So that's usually where my birthday would come across as, and it wasn't always celebratory. And even now that I'm older and a teacher, the last 2 years when I was in the UK, I was lucky and fortunate that I had roommates to celebrate my birthday with. So we would go out for dinner, have a little celebration, or even stayed at home, and I had roommates make me a cake one year. It was amazing. So having that little celebration was great, but then wanting to invite all of your Canadian teacher friends or other teacher friends to come and celebrate with you, you'd always be turned down because, well, obvious reasons. They're getting used to the school year. A lot of prep goes into making sure you have everything you need for your classes, your lessons, all that stuff. So kind of a really rough time of year to have a birthday and trying to get something celebrating or going. But nonetheless, you keep trying, you keep wanting to do something, and it usually works out in the end, or at least you still feel loved and celebrated despite it all. Despite it all, really. Now, last year was kind of a shift for my birthday, where I have been really trying hard to figure out what I want. Now that probably sounds strange, where everyone's probably like, but Dragyn, it's your birthday. Of course you're going to want to do something on your birthday. Everyone wants to do something or wants to have something for their birthday. However, like, that experience in high school really stopped that for me for quite a while, because it became more about my friends' convenience, where they would like to go, if we could make it work, because I lived on two different sides of the city from them basically. So ideal location, what activity to do. It really was this big consensus compromise that's happened every year when I was in high school, and even into my university a little bit. So I never really got to explore what I wanted for a birthday. I never really did, which is sad to admit. And I look back at my sweet 16, 17th birthday. 18th birthday was actually alright. I got to go out drinking and went to a party and saw my boss's band perform, actually, at the university, because it was orientation week. And it was amazing. Like, that 18th birthday was amazing, but my 16th birthday wasn't too good. We did go to a water park in the big mall here, so West Hampton Mall, and it's North America's biggest mall for now, until things, you know, get built and get bigger than this mall. But we have an indoor water park in this mall, and I remember going to that, and I'm not a huge fan of the wave pools or water slides at all, but with some encouragement from my friends, and they wanted me to try new things. I was now 16, you might as well try new things. And the first thing I did was this sort of a ride where you like went on like one of the flotation devices, like the tubes basically, and you'd go down this like a river, like this really like river looking slide. And I am a bigger person, so I am overweight, and I remember going down one of the turns and the curves of this sort of river slide and knocked myself over and off the tube, and that led me to scraping my elbow and bruising my knee. So happy birthday to me, trying something new, and I get slightly injured from being knocked off the tube, from hitting the wall too hard, being like a heavier person, of course, so more momentum, science, gravity, you all know that. So I just got knocked over, and then I was discouraged. I was disappointed and upset, really, after that. So then I like waited for my friends to go on some rides by chilling in the hot tub, and I spent all that time alone in the hot tub, just trying to like make sure like my knee was okay, my elbow was alright, wasn't bleeding anymore, because again, you don't want to bleed in a public pool. That's gross and disgusting. And just kind of took care of all that. So not ideal, not fun. We did have a really good meal out after, and we still managed to, turn it around, but I was still so upset that I finally tried something new, did something brave for my 16th birthday, and got immediately injured for it. Ay. The way life works sometimes, it's funny that way. Yeah, so that was my sweet 16. I was doing what my friends wanted. 17th birthday, again the same thing. Went to the movies. My friends picked the place to eat. I didn't really have a choice in the matter. Or I just agreed. I automatically agreed, I think. It wasn't the fact that I didn't have a choice in the matter. I just automatically agreed because they wanted to go to it. And they were happy and excited. And I was feeling that excitement. I am a very empathetic person. Ooh, sorry. And I was feeling that excitement too, so I said yes to everything. When in reality, I probably would have enjoyed other places or restaurants a little better. Or maybe would have enjoyed going to the river valley for a walk or doing something else instead. Art gallery, museums, more of my style, more of my niche would have been better, but instead, I again compromised and decided to do what was agreed upon amongst the group. So those were those two birthdays that really shaped that, and then it's really hard to shake that, where you want to wish everyone a good time, but also you want to feel celebrated and have a good time as well. And I never really balanced that out well. And I look back on those birthdays and realize that, wow, I really didn't fully enjoy it like I thought I did. I definitely didn't. So it's been really strange to go through that and realize it now at 27. My gosh, I feel like I'm old now, 10 years later. And now I have to work really, really hard at figuring out what I want. I've also have a family experience too, where they said, all right, well, it's your birthday coming up. Here's what we can afford. Here's what we can do. So pick out of these two options. And so I had to think about money growing up quite a bit. And out of the two options, I'd be like, well, I don't want my parents to like stress or strain themselves, so let's go with the cheapest option instead of doing what I really wanted. I'm that kind of a person. Very empathetic, I can read the room, understand situations, and instead of celebrating me and what I would like to do, I would be more of like, well, here's this cost-friendly alternative, and this is what would make my friends happy, so we're gonna go do that instead. That kind of idea. So now it comes to my birthday, and last year I finally made plans and actually decided what I wanted to do. I didn't really want a big thing with family because, again, we're still in a pandemic. We weren't all vaccinated last year at all, so it wasn't ideal to go spend time with family. So instead, I chose to do a river valley walk. And again, it's a beautiful time of year because the weather's getting colder. The leaves start to change up here in Canada, at least. Usually around this time of year, although we'll see about this year. It's been kind of warm, so it might not be the ideal fall colors, but last year it was. It was a beautiful walk down the river valley. We went and discovered the accidental beach that was created from the river. It was this weird thing that happened with the construction of one of the bridges, and it created this sort of flat area where the currents for the river wasn't super strong, so you can actually go out and swim, put your feet in the water, and not be worried about being swept away. Very weird. Science is cool, guys. I like it. But yeah, we got to go down there and discover that for a while and enjoyed it. And then I chose restaurants for dinner. And yes, I know it was a pandemic, a risky move to make, but I figured we are in a lockdown. The restaurants just opened up. I think they opened up 2 weeks or so before my birthday. And so I figured the rush of everyone wanting to go out and spend time with loved ones and see their favorite places would be over. And I was right. We were completely separated from other families and had a really good meal. And I really, really loved it. However, family is a funny thing, isn't it? Where I realized that the restaurant I chose didn't have a lot of options for food for my little brother, who's a bit of a picky eater, and for my stepdad, who is pretty picky as well with his food. So they were disappointed with the dinner, which made me feel guilty when it shouldn't have. I should have been proud of myself. I picked a place I wanted to go to. I enjoyed the food there. They could have looked at the menu beforehand and find something that they wanted. You know, there's so many things that could have went better, basically, than they did. But I still felt that guilt. I was like, oh no, half the party that's here isn't going to enjoy my birthday because they don't have any food that they want to eat here. They did find something. I think my little brother found mac and cheese or something like that, and I think my stepdad tried some fish and chips, but yeah, I felt a little guilty about that. So it wasn't the perfect successful, this is what I want. I was happy. It was a great day, fully on, 100%. It was sort of up and down, and it actually was a bit up and down as well because my stepdad was also given some bad news about work with the pandemic, things like that. So again, it was sort of tainted a bit, despite finally doing what I wanted to do for a birthday. This year is turning to be a little different and still difficult, but not as difficult, I guess. So let's get into that a little bit. This might be a short podcast episode. I hope you guys don't mind. I had to scramble for a topic, and this episode's going to be late again because things didn't quite pan out with the intended episode for today. So I apologize profusely. I didn't mean for this to happen, but let's talk about this year's birthday. 27. I am a lot more fortunate this year that I have people to celebrate my birthday with. I, of course, have people, my family, and are people, they want to celebrate me. However, it doesn't always turn out that way in most cases, really. But this year is different because I've got my Toastmasters friends. I didn't meet these guys last year. I joined Toastmasters in October, not September. So now this year I've got my Toastmasters friends, and it was pointed out that my birthday is a Saturday. Normally we have a Toastmasters meeting on a Saturday, but here's the kick again. Long weekend, back to school, busy period time. We are not meeting for Toastmasters on my birthday. Extremely disappointing because I would have loved to have a meeting and then go celebrate with everyone after. And that was, I mentioned it at our last gathering, basically, our social gathering. And a few of the ladies have stepped up and said, no, 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 no. If you want something to happen on your birthday and you want to be surrounded by people who care about you, we are going to make it happen. Tell us what you want and we will make it happen. And that was so touching. I was not really expecting it that much, really, because I'm just so used to people throwing suggestions my way and I just agree with something and go with it. So I finally was like, oh, okay, I've got a few weeks to think about it. Let me think about it. We'll coordinate and talk together and let's make it happen. However, I'm still so much me in many ways because this past week, actually, so my birthday again is in next week, next Saturday, and I still sent an email to the lady who agreed that she wanted to host it and do something for me, that I presented her with two options instead of just doing what I really want to do. I need to learn. But she actually called me out on that shit, which I'm so glad she did. Because she's like, Violet, stop. It is your day. It's your birthday. It's what you want. What do you want? Which of those two options do you think would be the most relaxing or beneficial to you on your special day? So, we have decided on a girls' day. So it's going to be all the ladies from Toastmasters, or those who can make it. And we're going to have a spa day, basically. We're going to come prepared. We're going to bring all the different colors of nail polish that we have, and we can select colors for each other, and we can do our nails and toes if you want to, but I don't really want to do my feet. I don't know, feet's weird. I do like a proper pedicure, but I don't want to make them go through a pedicure. My feet are weird. Well, we can go for, like, do manicures, do facials, and she actually suggested, my friend who wants to host this, that we can make jewelry too. So, like, bracelets, necklaces, anklets, whatever kind of thing, and drink a lot of Prosecco. And that seems like an amazing day with cake and food, and just celebrate me. And I just think that's amazing. So my idea spurred on more ideas that I actually thought would fit really, really well with the theme. We can make some jewelry while we wait for our, like, nail polishes to dry, or we can play some music and make some food and have a really nice day. So we're in the process of actually planning that out and making sure we've got a date, a time, a place, and who can bring what. So it's going to be a really nice celebration. And yes, this Dragyn plans on drinking. I don't drink a lot. I haven't actually drank a lot in a while. And I need to build that tolerance up again. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of tipsiness, a lot of silliness, giggles, laughs, but also a lot of self-care. I think that's the perfect combination for me to turn 27. It's been, you guys have heard the episodes the past few weeks where it's been quite crazy, intense. Work has not really let up. A lot of things going on in family that aren't really letting up either. There's a lot of drama currently going on in my life. My dad's foot too got really badly infected, lost his toes. There's so much going on right now in my life that I think taking an afternoon, evening to just relax, chit chat with the girls, get to know each other better, while also feeling loved, beautiful, confident, and cared for, really just seems nice. It just seems like something I really need and I really want. So that's going to be my 27th birthday. And I'm really looking forward to it, despite working Friday night. So again, I work overnights. So I work 11:30 to 3:30 Friday nights. I get off at 3:30 in the morning Saturday. But the lady that I'm planning this with, she's like, no, we're not going to do this in the morning. If you work into the morning, we'll do this in the afternoon. Heck, we can do it in the evening. You're going to sleep. It's your birthday. If we're doing a self-care birthday, sleep's going to be part of that. And I was like, okay, that's very sweet. I appreciate this. Let's aim for like a later afternoon kind of thing then. So it's, there's not enough words to describe it really, because again, this is something I actually wanted. It's working out, and I think this is going to be a really nice day for me. Which is so weird, because again, I obviously don't have a lot of memorable birthdays to share in the podcast, so this is why the podcast is short. Not a lot of memorable birthdays. I do remember a couple memories, I guess, that I'll share right now before wrapping it up and making some jokes about the 27 Club. I'll explain that in a moment, but I remember when we were very little, my sister and I were pretty close in age. So I'm turning 27, and in February she'll be 26, so we're that close in age. And we used to do sister gifts on our birthdays. So I don't know why. It seems kind of weird to me now that despite it being like my birthday, my sister would also get a gift. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I guess it helps limit the jealousy. But I mean, my sister and I did not like each other growing up, so it didn't really help much. But I remember my little sisters, I think I was maybe 5, 6, or 7 years old, like really, really young. And we gave each other sister gifts, and I think I got her like a little necklace or a doll, I think, probably, because she was into Barbies growing up. And I just remember this cute little stuffed dog that she gave me, and it was the cutest thing. It made me so happy. And yeah, just an odd tradition we had for a few years growing up, like sister gifts were a thing on each other's birthdays. So that's the one weird thing about my birthday, but I just remember the little stuffed dog and just like bringing it everywhere with me. Literally everywhere. Like car trips, school, to my grandma's place, both grandma's places, I guess, because we lived quite close to them at one point. To the big move up in Cold Lake. Just everywhere I brought this little dog with me. And really, really loved it. I also remember having a birthday at McDonald's once when, you know how, oh, this is going to be like a millennial thing probably, but if you guys ever grew up with the McDonald's characters actually being like really present in the store, so like the Hamburglar and the Ronald McDonald and all those, like the burger, the fries, the characters. I remember us having a birthday party there and having the characters, like mascots, actually celebrate my birthday. Remember that memory for some reason. Weirded out. Still don't really like mascots completely, I'm not gonna lie. So that's that interesting little tidbit for you. And I also remember one year for my birthday, again, I don't remember ages, nothing. I'm very bad at this, but people are curious about my birthday, so I'm sharing it. We went to Dairy Queen and had this big ice cream cake, and I just remember, this has to be when I was like 5, I think. I just remember putting like both hands into the cake and just like shoving it in my face, and like my mom, my parents, everyone freaking out and laughing, but it was still just the funniest memory, just seeing like my little hands just full of cake and just going, ah! Best time. Rebel child. A little bit. No proper manners there whatsoever, but it was really a good time. And then, yeah. Oh man, I'm starting to think that I hated my birthdays when I turned 12, actually. Yes, so, context for this one. Hey, I'm going to make this episode over longer than 30 minutes. Congratulations, me. But I remember the year that I was turning 12, the province I live in made a new rule, or a new law basically, that 12 to 14-year-olds can work, like legally work at a place, but they weren't allowed to work more than 8 hours a week or 10 hours a week. So I gave you that context. My parents owned a pizza place. My birthday that year when I turned 12 was September 4th. It was a Friday, legally 12, and I worked on my birthday. Yeah. So if you think about it, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, all the way to 27, I'll be working on my birthday. So 15 years of working on or around my birthday. Not easy to want to celebrate when you're exhausted or working or being put into a situation where you have to celebrate your birthday later than your actual day. Probably another huge reason why I don't have a super good affiliation to my birthday. I just remember that 12 years old, bam, September 4th, and here you are, 2006, and you are working. You officially work now. Wild. Yeah, those are the memorable birthdays though. I also kind of remember 13, 14 a little bit, and 15 I guess to an extent, those birthdays, because I got to have 2 birthdays. Because parents are divorced. They divorced when I was 13. So I got to have 2 birthdays and 2 Christmases and 2 separate holidays because of the divorce, and I remember loving that as a kid. But then as I grew older, I realized that that wasn't healthy or good, because the family is really good at comparing who got who, what. So if my dad got me something that was really extravagant, my mom would feel bad that she didn't get me something of the same value. A lot of that happened. And same thing with the Christmas. If we spent more time with my mom than my dad, then my dad would be like really hurt about it. Then if we spent more time with my dad, my mom would be very vocally upset about it. So it wasn't that fun for too long, but to have 2 separate birthdays and 2 separate cake parties, pretty awesome. That part was great. But just the rest of it that came with it, not so great. Leading to this year, where I've decided I'm having a friend birthday. Not really going to spend time with the family. I mean, my sister and I might go check out the interactive Van Gogh exhibits here, where you bring out Van Gogh's paintings to life on the walls and floors and ceilings of the place. It's going to be so cool. I really would like to go see that before it leaves at the end of September, but I've decided really no family this year for the holidays. I have so much resentment for how that's played out throughout the years, basically, growing up, that I think friends and my sister are how I want to celebrate it. So what I want, I'm going to advocate for that. So of course I'll still see my family for gifts and a quick like, hi, happy birthday, thank you, kind of thing. But nothing big. No big party, no celebration. Plus, pandemic is still around. Delta variant's killing us up here in Alberta. It really is. It's getting really high again, which is panic-inducing quite a bit. So, no real big celebration family. Just a few of the girls from my Toastmasters Club. Alcohol, crafts, it looks like, games, and self-care. Beautiful combination there that I think I'll really, really enjoy. So that's how I viewed my birthday, and this is what I want to do for my birthday going forward, is picking how I want to celebrate it, what I want to do for it, and what I want for my birthday. So that's another new thing too that I'm trying to work on, is deciding what I want as a gift for my birthday. This year I've got a few things on my list, actually. Normally I don't. Normally I just say, oh, whatever, like, money's just fine, or you can pay for my dinner, that's fine, and just do something like that, very offhanded, like, nah, don't worry about it. Well, this year I do have things that I want, and actually, for those listening to the podcast, there's something I want to ask of you, if you can. I'm not going to force you. Don't please put yourself in a situation where you actually can't do it, but you're going to force yourself to do it and be screwed over after. Please don't do that. But one of my birthday gifts is to keep being successful with the ExtraLife Fundraiser. I set a goal of fundraising $150 US by September 4th, my birthday, and we've hit that very recently, and I've got some really good friends out there. Thank you, by the way, everyone. My goodness, one $100 donation, one $50 donation, bam, $150 raised, and some of these people are from ExtraLife. I know you guys, some of my ExtraLife friend buddies. They donated that specific amount by August 31st, because then I've unlocked the reward of getting some ExtraLife themed and colored D&D dice. And if you know me and you've listened to the podcast every week for 34 weeks, you know that I love D&D. And so to get a special ExtraLife dice, that's all the efforts I've done to raise how much money I've made this year, I'm actually getting that little reward as a thank you. And I think it's a really special set of dice because I really care about this cause. I was in and out of the stollery as a kid, and it's a huge part of my life. It's part of my little brother's life currently. And I really care about the kids, and I want to make sure they get the treatments and just whatever they need from the hostelry, and that's where the money is going to. So that's what I'm asking for my birthday from everyone, is if you can spare just $1, click the link in the description below and donate. We're getting close to the big $1,000 goal. We're at $674.93. Very specific round number, $674.93. Don't ask me why that happens. Something went funky there a little bit in my donation spree at one point, but we are that close to $700, so $25 more to get to there. And I have an interesting walking challenge that I'm going to be doing for that as an incentive that will be recorded. So some extra content there for you guys to enjoy. But yeah, if you can just spare $1, donate to the cause, it'll bring us closer to that $1,000 goal, and I think that'd be amazing to hit that by the end of the year. So that's my one ask from you guys. And then the other two things are probably going to be coming from family more than anything, but long story short, I don't know why I'm disclosing this to you guys, but here we are. My debit Visa card, so it does have a Visa component to it. Because it doesn't have my actual legal name on the card, I can't use it on Amazon, so I have not been able to order anything that I would like off of Amazon. I do have an Amazon wish list. I'll put it in the description if you want to look at it. You don't have to. But one of my wants this year is to have an Amazon gift card that I can use and buy some of the things that I would like from that silly website. And the second thing I'd like is either some new shoes. I would like some new runners and some nice fancy dress-up shoes. So 2 pairs of shoes basically, or the money for shoes, because I have worn out my work shoes entirely at this point. They don't have a sole on them anymore, and they are they're looking rough, they're feeling rough. So to get, I guess, 3 pairs of shoes, maybe a casual pair, work pair, and a nice formal boot would be so nice to have. But it's a big ask. We'll see what the family thinks or what they do, but it's so weird to actually have items that I want and goals to achieve technically too before my birthday. It's been very fulfilling though. Just charity work on your birthday is not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people want to do that, but I do. It's really important to help out the kids. They're young. they're confused maybe sometimes, or they're well aware of what's happening to them. So to get that extra love and support, it means the world. And then, yeah, just some selfish things there, wanting an Amazon gift card and shoes, but when you've worn out your shoes to the point where you don't have a sole in them anymore, you kind of need new shoes. So that's my birthday, 27. Gonna do a self-care drinking game night with some ladies of Toastmasters, and hopefully getting some new shoes, an Amazon gift card, and raising more money for ExtraLife and the children's hospital here in my city. Those are my 3 things that I want. That's the party and day that I want on my birthday. And I can't think of a better way to level up. So, I don't know what you think about this episode. Definitely was quite rambly and very eye-opening, I think, for some of you. But we made it to the end. I'm getting older next week. Getting closer to 30. I don't even want to think about 30 right now because, wow, I'm single as fuck. Just gonna throw that out there. I don't know how to date. Never have dated, really, honestly. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life at this point. So I'm scared of 30. But I'm very happy to be turning 27. So thank you, everyone, for listening to the rambles and the life that I've had and the birthdays I've had. My goodness, I apologize that they're not all cheery, but I think we should give me a little pat on the back for finally doing a birthday that I want and need this year. It took 27 years to do it, but I did it, and I am excited, ecstatic, and I'll have to let you know how it goes, I think. Yeah. So stay tuned for a follow-up to my birthday. Thank you for listening, everyone. Check the links down in the description below. Like the video if you like the content or my story. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's a nice little birthday gift. Subscribe. Why not? And I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.